global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news for you, and the headline reads: Biafra and IPOB send strong message to suspended Ohaneze Scribe. See the singular action he did and see the details. But before we go into the news proper and further analysis, would you like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button below? Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as you update our channel on YouTube. Don't also forget to share and thumbs up, like our video. Okay, let's go straight into the news of the day. Please pay attention to all the details. They're quite interesting. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, on Wednesday accused a Secretary General of Ohaneze Ndigbo, Mr. Uche Okukwo, of making derogatory remarks against it, that's IPOB and Biafra, and said he would account for his sins on the day of reckoning. In a statement by B0ld, the coordinator of Igwocha River State chapter of IPOB, which was made available to newsmen by the group's media and publicity secretary, Ima Powerful, he cautioned Okukwo to immediately desist from making derogatory remarks against Biafra and IPOB, or be ready to account for his sins on the day of reckoning. He said Okukwo had been in the habit of sabotaging Igbo and Biafran's interest over alleged financial gains. He added that it was regrettable that Okukwo, after being a member of the movement for the actualization of sovereign state of Biafra, that is MASOB, and Secretary General of Ohaneze Ndigbo, would turn back against Igbo and Biafra in their interest for his personal gains. Okukwo is too tiny, too irrelevant, even in Igwocha, to face IPOB, and we don't want to dignify him by joining issues with him. We only want him to remember that there is always a day of reckoning for every man, and his paymasters will definitely disappoint him. Okukwo stood as a witness some years back for federal government of Nigeria against his fellow MASOB members in the Federal High Court, Abuja. As if that was not enough, Okukwo has been shamelessly dishing out press statements against Biafra and Igbo interest in his quest to please his paymasters in Aso Rock. IPOB family in Igwocha has observed with utter dismay how a sacked Ohaneze Secretary General, that's Mr. Uche Okukwo, has made himself a willing tool in the hands of the enemies to sabotage Igbo and Biafra and their interest just because of his pecuniary gains. It is rather shameful that somebody who has once prided himself as a MASOB member and a Secretary General of Ohaneze Ndigbo will suddenly make himself a slave to his masters to sabotage his own tribe for a piece of bread. We want to place it on record that Okukwo has officially been sacked by the leadership of Ohaneze Ndigbo and should stop talking about anything concerning Ohaneze Ndigbo and IPOB. The statement reads, okay, that's the news, but this is strong. It's a strong one. Those each time we listen to, when I'm always privileged to listen to someone like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, there's this word that I usually use, the fous, the fous, the saboteurs. I guess they're bit by bit, they're unfolding. But before we go to full analysis, let's feel the pulse of Nigerians over this very strong one, which means all along he has been in the corridor of power within the actualization of Biafran group and Ohaneze Ndigbo all along. Who knows? Probably that's one of those people that usually feeds information to information outside the rank and file of Biafra. Oh, no wonder Nnamdi Kanu will say he now has a way of surrounding himself. He will tell you there's some things he would still like to keep to himself as secret because, he wouldn't want the saboteurs and the fools, to know. But let's feel the pulse of Nigerians before we begin to look at this very critically. Honestly, this is a strong statement because this one is not just an ordinary member, it's somebody who has occupied the rank and file. That's really strong, I tell you. Let's feel the pulse of Nigeria. This one here is saying the man must be traced and handle him with care so that he will suffer for reckless and uselessness of his behavior. Okay? This one here says Okukwo must be a relation to Okorocha, the Igbo bastards from the Hausa Fulani extraction. This one here says you should know that enemies are everywhere and some are the mothers who got pregnant from the north and west. That's why we must be careful at times. This one here is saying this is just okay. Someone is laughing here. He's laughing. Say this is just the beginning. As a lot of persons are just talking. So he say that is what you and your people got. This is just beginning. Just without comparing. Okay, they are now saying. Okay, some persons are now laughing at the story, saying within themselves they're sabotaging themselves. Okay, but usually even Jesus, Bible recorded that Judas Iscariot was still among the 12, trusted 12, and whether you like it or not, when there is a cause, to be actualized, there will always be someone who's probably within the cause, who does not believe in the cause, who does not believe in the struggle, but still wants to be among and may likely give out information. But it's not new, it has always been in time past. But the unique part of this whole thing is the fact that this is not an ordinary person. This is somebody who has been in rank and file. He may even have some strong information as someone who has occupied very high-ranking positions. You know what it is? As to be a Secretary General, which means where you guys have meetings, the agenda of the meeting, the minutes of the meeting. You have an idea. Okay, this is why I want to actualize this. This is where we are going to. This is where we are going to meet. This is who we are going to run alliance with. These are our alliances, our allegiances. These are the people who work in synergy with us, even though they have not opened their mouth to say even though they've not publicly made themselves known. But these are the people who are our alliance, who works with us, who gives us some sort of whatever, whether moral support or connections or Intel or Interpol and all that. But it's actually the mall within the Biafran socialization. And that's a strong position because being the Secretary General, one believes that should be someone who's totally sold out to the struggle, who's totally in agreement to the fact that they want Biafra to be actualized. So if of all persons, even if you want to suspend, he's the least you will suspend because Secretary General of Ohaneze Ndigbo, even if it's not even IPOB, the fact that all of them, both Secretary General of Ohaneze Ndigbo, Masob, IPOB, I think they're all saying one thing, Biafra. Although apart from Ohaneze Ndigbo, who believes that okay, we should be giving the Igbo's extra should be given presidency and not to be thinking of secession. But at some point they said that really amongst all the three, that seemed to be the only one that is not too stable. But Masob, IPOB, they all keep saying the same thing, they want Biafra. So you can just imagine somebody who have risen to the rank and file of being a Secretary General, and all of a sudden, all along, has been the one feeding the information about all their intels, all their moves. At some point it looked as if the government of the day had an idea of, except for probably Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who had been outside the country. No one really has an idea what he's doing per time, except he comes online and tells you, look, this is what we are doing, this is how far we have gone, and all that. There was a time even Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, look, that it looks like the man who has been more like an ally, who has been helping them to push the front in the United Nations and all that. He said, according to him, he said they even went as far as giving the man some huge amount of money to back out from that struggle. But the young man said, look, I've gone too far. These guys have suffered. And he made it known in one of his radio stations, I think some months back, said, look, the Aso Rock are really coming for him, but they don't know that he's ahead of them. That's because probably he's far away. Who knows? Probably. Maybe that was why Masob didn't get this far, with the actualization of Biafra. If you watch, it's as if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been here forever, really, because he seemed to be known, he seemed to make a lot of giant strides. That probably because he distanced himself from it. But if you have a mole within you and you try to make effort to keep moving, and you wouldn't know, because the truth of the matter is you think everybody is with you, you are moving, don't know that somebody is selling your intel out there. So for every move you seem to make, somebody is, sabotaging, somebody is blocking it, they seem to know as if there's some sort of ghost. And that's what we are generally facing here, because the truth be told, at some point they were picking the massive members very quickly, they just pick them and all that. But imagine the fact that you even saw that one would say, okay, the reason why he testified against his members during the years back during the so-called court hearing, one would say probably he was scared, he didn't want to go to jail, or just maybe he has been getting, because according to them, it was alleged he had been getting gains. But honestly, doing this, it goes beyond the personal thing. This Biafran thing has been even before, in the days of Ojukwu, there's always been. So it's not a one-man dream. You would have just openly said, look, I don't belong either here or there. Rather than going in there to, say you belong, but all along you're being the one, stopping their movement. No wonder. It's not nice, honestly. But that's my own view on it. I feel that, like IPOB as secretary, publicity secretary has said, disease from it. If you're not, someone will say, if you're not with us, then you're against us. If you are for us, then you are not against us. So whichever make your stand. If you're not for us, then by all means keep quiet. But then I feel also that being a high-ranking officer before now, I think he has a lot of intels. If I was to be there, if I was to be those in his former organization before he was suspended, I think they should change a lot of itinerary. Okay, yes, change a lot of itinerary, because he has a lot of the itineraries at his fingertips. They need to change a lot of things, probably change headship, change a lot of things so that it will be basically new for him. But then, if not, he seemed to have a lot of things in his hands. And just like IPOB member Emma Powerful have told him, say one day your paymasters from Abuja will use you. You just realize you have been dumped. When you no longer have relevance, then who will you call your brother? And they have warned them, say, day of reckoning, they will take accountability of all this thing you have done is coming. And I pray that he said you account for all your sins. But for now, let's push forward the actualization of Biafra. But that's my view on this. I feel that's also what he feels. That's what he knows is his view as well. But what do you think about the fact that all along, there's have always been a fool in Ohaneze Ndigbo Scribe? Of course, he has been suspended. What do you think should actually be what they should do now, being the fact that he has a lot of intels that most even members of IPOB do not have? I mean, I'm talking about Biafra members. I'm not talking about the IPOB. We have those working very close to Mazi and Nnamdi. I'm also talking about those who believe in the cause and they identify themselves as Biafrans. Now, some of those people who believe in the cause and identify themselves as Biafra may not have the intel that this young man has. What do you think should be done to keep the cause moving? Let's interact in